Spirit. Oh yeah, oh yeah.
My parents came to this country in 1980 from Vietnam in search of opportunities for a better life. My childhood was relatively normal, and I was given all the things I needed and so much more. I loved, I laughed, I played, I cried over the little things like dropped ice cream. Heading into adulthood, I began to realize the strong differences between my childhood versus my parents. They were not as fortunate as me, and the pressure to search for bigger and better opportunities creeped its way into my psyche. How do I make my parents proud? Aha! Practicality it is. So when practicality sets in, so does the sense of gaining happiness through success. My father would let me answer his company phone when I was 10 years old. Pretend play in the real world was invigorating. I started working at the age of 13, 1 week after my 8th grade graduation. I worked in an Italian bakery as a counter girl and on an ice cream truck throughout my high school years. I worked as a developmental gymnastics coach and eventually worked as a restaurant server throughout my college years. I found happiness in all things sweet and in all places of service. What do you want to be when you grow up? What major will you pursue in college? At the ripe old age of 18, I just didn't know. I couldn't bear to disappoint my parents or even attempt to explain what I was going through at that point in my life. Emotional literacy was not a major topic in my household, and so I went to college, majored in economics, and just like Will Ferrell in the scene from Anchorman, I was in a constant state of confusion. I chose to study economics because I thought that meant success, and that success meant happiness. I barely made it through my studies. Much like this woman you see here, I was no longer content with being content. I wanted more in my life, and I wanted so badly to be passionate about my work. My calling in life is to be happy and make that happiness as contagious as possible. And with every calling in life, there must be a prompt. My prompt was as clear as day. I met a speech-language pathologist professor during my coaching days. Upon my last days of working as a coach, the professor comes to me and says, "Come on over to Lehman. You're going to be a great speech therapist." And she hands me a Lehman College canvas bag with all the pamphlets I needed. So here I am, everyone. I have a passion for what I do, and I know that many of you share this sentiment with me. It was never about anyone else's expectations. It all came down to my happiness. I find happiness in the many blessings I've been graced with. I find peace in serving all of my students.